If no one has taught you how to properly price your services, or you're secretly resentful because you haven't raised your fees in years, this video is for you. In fact, this is the first of a 4-part series where I'm diving deep into pricing and specifically how to raise your prices or raise your fees. And today we're going to be talking about when to raise your fees, because it's important to know when to do something. You can't just know how to do it. So there's really 2 best times to raise your prices. If you're wondering, like, what day in the month, what month in the year, what week in the month, I'm going to share with you. The first time is by schedule. This is where you set a time in the year, whether that's quarterly, whether that's semi-annually, whether that's annually, where you're going to review your prices and make sure that they're aligned with your growth. Specifically, they're aligned with the transformation you facilitate and the results that you help your clients achieve. You're going to set a schedule. It's going to be set in your calendar. I remember years ago when I worked with a VA for over a 4-year period, every December, I would receive an email from Sophie, and Sophie would let me know what her new pricing would be in the following year. Every December, there was an email. My prices have increased. I am now charging XYZ hourly rate. And it was something that she understood, this key principle of we teach and train people how to treat us. We teach and train people how to treat us. So she began to indoctrinate her clients that every year her prices were going to increase at a set time. And then there was enough time that if we wanted to continue working with her, we could, or we could find someone else. Now, I always continued working with her because the value was there, right? The value was there and the relationship was there. And so my question to you is, what are you teaching and training your clients? Now, I know for years that I was teaching and training my clients that I didn't value my value. And how did I do that? I didn't raise my prices. I consistently undercharged for my services. And I did that because I didn't believe that I was worth it. And so you want to make a decision, and you have to make this decision, actually, that you begin to value your value. This will not work. I got to tell you, this will not work. And what's this? Raising your fees if you don't believe in your value. So the second time, because there's only 2 times, to raise your fees is when it's aligned. And this, my friend, is what I do. What does aligned mean, right? This is meaning that your prices reflect the value of your transformation that you facilitate, the results that your clients receive. And you're looking at your pricing to make sure it's aligned. And what is the alignment? It's, can you or do you really consistently produce a 10x result? So let's bring some numbers in here. Let's say you charge $5,000 for a client to work with you, and you can help a client. Not only can you do help clients produce a $50,000 result, right? Maybe you help them enroll clients at, $50,000 clients. I'm just saying that they came to you, they were only able to enroll clients at $10,000 and they're working with you, and they're now enrolling clients at $50,000 clients. Well then your prices are aligned. You've helped them produce a 10x result. And whether you're working in the area of career and business, whether you're working in relationships, whether you're working in health, whether you're working in finances, you have to know the 10x results that you produce for your clients. So you may say your prices are aligned, right? Like no need to increase. But let's say you are charging $1,000 and your clients are producing that $50,000 result. Well, your prices aren't aligned, right? You're under monetized. And this is when you can raise your prices. And it doesn't matter when you do it. I remember when I 3x my prices March 2020. Like that was the date. March 1, 2020, my prices were increasing. And I let my current and past clients know that there was a price increase. So it's by alignment. Now, here's a really important thing to remember. You can't outprice your belief. Even if you have the receipts, even if you have the testimonials that you've produced that, we'll use this example, that $50,000 result for your clients, but you don't believe that you're worth being, someone paying you $5,000, it won't work. Because people see us how we see ourselves. So if you don't see yourself worthy and deserving of receiving $5,000, then your current and potential clients won't see it either. Right? If you are hesitant and doubtful in sharing it with them, the words that you use, whether verbally or an email, are filled with hesitation and doubt, then they too will be doubtful and hesitant to pay you the increase, even if they've gotten that result. So you can't outprice your belief. I remember when Dr. O came to me, at the time she came working with me, she wasn't even a doctor, and she was charging $750 for a 1-hour training, but she wasn't even getting that much. She was a subcontractor. She was getting half of that. And I knew that she could charge 10x that, but she didn't believe she was worth that. So she incrementally raised her prices. I mean, I could coach and mentor, but she had to make that decision. And the first price increase was $1,200 because that's what she was believing at the time she was worth, the value. Now, everyone else could see that she was undercharging. That's why with the same client, they were like, okay, no problem. When she delivered another training for that hour. And then I was like, okay, it's time to go. When it happened, she was like, what? That she understood all of her fear, all of her doubt that they were going to say no, that she was going to lose. It didn't happen. She was like, woo! Right? She began to see things differently. God began to remove the scales from her eyes. And then the price went up again. I was like, let's go. And it went up to $2,100. And then when they bought from her again, and she was like, what? Now, there was resistance because she was coming out of agreement with the lies that she was believing and replacing them with truth, i.e. God's word. But over time, continually to do this, in 4 years with the same clients, she was charging $7,500 for the same training. Now, she may be even charging more now. And get this, she was no longer a subcontractor. Because as she began to up-level how she saw herself and use words that reflected her new perspective of herself, and she began to see that she didn't need to be a subcontractor, she was able to pitch and present offers to clients in her own business. So there again are two best times to increase your prices or increase your fees: a set time or when it's aligned. Regardless, you have to believe that you are deserving and worthy of it based on your transformation, right? As you invest in coaches, invest in books, when you are developing new skills and you're getting your clients results quicker, faster, easier, and you're refining, right? Because when we teach something, we learn it twice. And so naturally, as you grow, as you evolve, your fees are going to grow and evolve. So I want to hear from you below. Which of the times are you going to implement in your business? What are you going to decide to implement in your business? Are you going to do a set time? Like you're like, yeah, let me do the set time to do a review. Or is it going to be what I have found successful for myself and also help clients? That's how clients are able to collapse their income in a relative short amount of time by doing when it's aligned. Let me know below. I want to know what you're deciding and going to implement for your business, and stick around for the rest of the 3 videos in this 4-part series. Okay, until then, take care. God bless. Love you. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when we release a new video. Then click the TV to watch the next video. Go to altheamcintyre.com to get your free training on the 7 biggest sales mistakes that keep you from 7 figures.